Welcome, viewers. This is the Treasures of Life show, and my name is Jonah Simba. My sign language interpreter is Irene Chebiwot. Quite an eventful week we've had. I've met so many of you fans out there. Thank you. Thank you for your feedback. Thank you. Thank you for watching the Treasures of Life show. You see, there is nothing in this life that is as encouraging as an encouraging word. When you give somebody an encouraging word, you're giving them the energy for life. So I'll keep encouraging you, and thank you for always encouraging me. We are partners, collaborators in the growth of our emotional life. I call this emotional intelligence show. Call it mental health if you so wish. Call it a motivational show if you so wish. Whatever you call it, this is a show for you to energize. I encourage you to keep following us. Treasures of Life show. Tap the word Treasures of Life show. Don't forget the word show on YouTube. We are on Science TV every Wednesday, 8 p.m. every Wednesday. Now, I have a topic for you today. Forming an identity. Forming an identity. There was a time when I had a show here and I spoke on identity crisis. But today I want to speak about forming an identity. But before we delve into that, let me just do a very simple thing to you. You see, when you have an identity, what do you mean? When you speak of the word identity, it's very simple. You know, recognizing somebody or something for who or what it is. Or probably affiliating somebody or something to something else. Yeah, those are two different explanations. Recognizing somebody or something for who or what it is, or affiliating somebody or someone or a group or something to something else. Yeah, that is also an identity. What does that show? What does that tell us? Identity is who you are, what you are, what something is, who you are, what something is. That is an identity. But identity can also be what you are associated with. That is why in forming an identity today, I want to encourage you on the aspect of who you associate with. It's more of making a friendship, partnering, collaborating. When I look at your friendships, I can tell who you are. Yeah, many times birds of the same feather flock together. People who share the same values work together. So in forming your identity, maybe I'm speaking to somebody that is, for one reason or another, networking. Who are you associating with? Yeah. You need to form an identity on that line, on collaborations and partnerships. Let me point to you that some partnerships make you richer. It is a fact. Some partnerships make you poor. Believe you me. Some partnerships make you popular. Some associations make you oh so unpopular. That is just the reality. But then there is something deeper than that. Who are you? What are you made of? So that is why in this topic of identity, you can't escape talking about identity crisis. Because in your challenge of trying to gain, to form an identity, you may get yourself into an identity crisis. That is why these topics must walk hand in hand. Whether I like it or not, I'll just find myself delving back to the topic on identity crisis. But first, what is your gender? Yeah, very simple. That is identity. What is your gender? Are you a man? Are you a woman? Let me ask you as a man, what makes you think you're a man? Or when you stand up and say, I am a man, what do you mean? Come on. If you stand and say, I am a man, what are you referring to? You know, when somebody talks about themselves being a woman, I am a woman, they are going deeper. Okay, let me just speak on that issue of gender. Before I delve into your personality, but many times when you're talking about your gender, you need to think about your personality. Why? Your personality will make your gender relevant or efficient, for lack of a better word. What is it in being a woman? Do you know the value, the roles of a woman? What is it in being a man? It is interesting when you see boys fighting and one of them saying, I'm a man. It's amazing. Sometimes they speak of being a man on other issues of their physical, bodies, probably six-pack or other parts of their bodies. Let me not go deeper. Sometimes they speak of being a man because probably they are strong. And many men speak of themselves being men because probably they have monies, good accounts, or probably they are popular. Or sometimes it's not just money or popularity. Sometimes it is on their ability to retain women. Shocking. Therein lies confusion. When you're trying to gain your identity, you may find yourself in an identity crisis. You see, you need to be careful about your personality as you're forming an identity. What is your personality? What is your personality being informed from? Because personality many times is formed from history, present, and probably self-education. Your experiences of life may form your personality. And that is why it is important for you not to allow negativity to form your personality. Why? Because identity may be defined on what is coming out of you. Yeah, that may probably define your identity. So there are things in history that you do not need to allow to define your personality, because definitely they will affect your identity. When someone is explaining your identity, they are touching on your legacy. Don't forget it. When someone is explaining who you are, probably that's what they'll say on your funeral ceremony. Yeah. Who will cry when you die? Yeah. Who will cry when you die? What will they say when you die, when you are old? Because I pray that all of us live long according to the way God has created us, and we have full lifespans. And then when we are done, when we are old, because nature demands that after you are old, you die. You go back to the soil, ashes to ashes, or probably you go back to your maker. So when that time comes and someone is trying to explain you, what will they explain? I always say on this show, all of us will die, but not all of us will truly live. People who truly live are people who define their personalities correctly. Of what point is it living your life with fear? Even Christians say the fearful will not inherit the kingdom of God. But then all evil is informed with fear. Let me say that again. All evil is informed by negative fear. Because there is a fear that can push you into negative emotion. You can be so fearful of something that you find yourself engaging in domestic violence. Yeah. Because you're so afraid of you being defined as a man. So you find yourself in domestic violence. I know men, and I, to some extent, understand women. But I know that some men cannot take a lot of speak from women. Believe it or not. There are men who, when you talk and undertalk them, and understate them, and undermine them, they get physical. Yeah. You know, in identifying a man, knowing the identity of a man, it also goes in their physical appearance, their physical body. So sometimes men come to their own definition in terms of their physical appearance. Nothing wrong with it, it's God-given. But when it gets to the point where your physical strength is used to make people understand that probably you're the man, you're the father, you're the man, you're the big man around, then you are definitely at a danger of getting into identity crisis. Legitimacy demands that you don't need to remind anybody you're the father. Let me say that again. Legitimacy does not, you do not need to remind your people that I'm the father or I'm the leader here or probably I'm the pastor here. Legitimacy is earned. You get it? Let me say that. Legitimacy is earned. And that is where personality works very well for you in forming your identity. Create a personality. It starts with a simple habit. A simple habit. What habits are you forming on a day-to-day basis? Slowly by slowly, the habit will form itself into character. And once it becomes a character, boom, therein lies your personality. So who are you? You are now being identified with a certain behavior, you know. But then if you start working slowly by slowly, brick by brick, building positive habits, you start forming an identity. Probably people have known you to be an angry woman, an angry man. You can do it now. Just start now. Do something different. Do something unpredictable. Don't be predictable. Sometimes it's good just to do something different. Bring out a virtue. And slowly by slowly, as I'm winding up this section, it will form into a character. Forming an identity. That's what I'm talking about in the Treasures of Life show today. See you after the break.